They began as slaves, torn from their homes, sold to foreign masters, and trained to obey without question. But these men would rise to rule empires, defeat the Mongols, and become the greatest warrior elite the Islamic world had ever seen. This is the untold story of the Mamluks, the slave soldiers who brought the world's most feared conquerors to their knees. Were they truly the greatest warriors in history? Let's find out. The word Mamluk literally means owned or possessed. In the 9th century, the Abbasid caliphs began buying young slaves from the Turkic steppes, boys who would be converted to Islam and trained in the art of war. These child soldiers were raised not as servants, but as warriors, loyal only to their master, disciplined, fearless, and deadly. Ironically, the very system designed to control them created an unstoppable military class that would one day overthrow their rulers. In 1250, after centuries serving under the Ayyubid dynasty, the Mamluks seized power in Egypt, founding their own sultanate. They weren't nobles. They weren't heirs. They were slaves turned kings. Under leaders like Baybars and Qutuz, the Mamluk Sultanate became the beating heart of the Islamic world, rich, powerful, and militarily unmatched. But their moment of destiny was about to arrive, when the most terrifying army in human history came knocking. By the mid-13th century, the Mongol Empire had annihilated entire civilizations. Baghdad, the jewel of Islam, had been reduced to ashes. No army had ever defeated them, until they marched toward Egypt in 1260. The Mamluks knew that if Cairo fell, Islam's last independent stronghold would be gone. What happened next would shock the world. September 3rd, 1260, the Battle of Ain Jalut. The Mongol army, unstoppable for decades, faced the Mamluk forces in the hills of modern-day Palestine. The Mamluks, led by Sultan Qutuz and General Baybars, executed one of history's most brilliant ambushes. They feigned retreat, drawing the Mongols into a narrow valley. And then, from the flanks, the Mamluk cavalry struck like thunder. For the first time in history, the Mongols were defeated in open battle. The legend of their invincibility was shattered by slaves who refused to be conquered. The victory at Ain Jalut made the Mamluks heroes of the Islamic world. For the next 250 years, they ruled Egypt, Syria, and the holy cities. They built towering mosques, founded universities, and transformed Cairo into one of the richest cities on earth. But make no mistake, their rule was forged by the sword. Mamluk soldiers trained their whole lives in mounted archery, swordsmanship, and discipline. To fail in battle was to lose your honor and your life. But like every empire built on power, the Mamluks' downfall came from within. They became obsessed with court politics, wealth, and rivalry. When the Ottoman Empire rose with gunpowder and cannons, the Mamluk cavalry, legendary as they were, could not adapt. In 1517, the Ottomans defeated them, and the great Mamluk Sultanate fell. But their legacy didn't die. Even today, the story of the Mamluks stands as one of the most astonishing tales in military history. Slaves who became kings. Outsiders who became legends. Warriors who stopped the unstoppable. The Mamluks remind us that greatness isn't inherited, it's forged. And sometimes, the most powerful empires are built by those who were never meant to rise. Thanks for watching Tactical Unknowns. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us next time, where we uncover the hidden strategies, forgotten empires, and the untold stories that shaped our world.